Scene script. Have you ever wondered how one of the world's oldest civilizations, Egypt, came into existence? Dive back with me some 5,000 years into the past, to the dawn of civilization. In the northeastern corner of Africa, a new society was forming around the life-giving Nile River Valley. This was the birthplace of ancient Egypt, a civilization that sprung up around 3100 BC. Why the Nile? Well, the river was more than just a source of water. It was the lifeblood of the civilization, a veritable cradle of life. Each year, the river overflowed its banks, leaving behind a layer of rich, fertile silt. This natural bounty allowed the ancient Egyptians to thrive, cultivating wheat, flax, and a variety of fruits and vegetables. But the Nile was more than just a provider. It was a unifier, a highway that connected the vast stretches of Egypt. It was along the banks of this great river that the first cities of Egypt sprouted, giving rise to a distinctive culture and society. The Nile was not merely a geographical feature, it was the heart and soul of the civilization. Now, let's turn our attention to a pivotal moment in Egypt's history, the unification of Upper and Lower Egypt. Prior to 3100 BC, Egypt was divided into two kingdoms, Upper and Lower Egypt. But then, a dynamic ruler called Menes, also known as Narmer, emerged. He is credited with the unification of these two lands, marking the beginning of the pharaonic era of Egyptian history. Menes didn't just unite the two lands, he ushered in an era of prosperity and cultural development. He established the capital at Memphis, near the border of the two kingdoms, symbolizing the unity of his realm. From this point forward, the pharaoh, as the ruler was now known, was not just a political leader, but also a divine figure, a bridge between the earthly and the divine. And thus, the foundations were laid for an empire that would stand the test of time. But what makes Egypt synonymous with awe and wonder? The answer, in part, lies in the era of the Old Kingdom, a period that spanned from about 2600 to 2200 BC. This was the golden age of pyramid building, a time when the Egyptian civilization reached an architectural zenith that still astounds us today. But why pyramids, you ask? Well, these grand structures were not mere architectural showpieces. They served a sacred purpose, acting as eternal resting places for the pharaohs, the god-kings of ancient Egypt. The Egyptians believed in the afterlife and saw their pharaohs as divine beings who would continue to govern and protect their people even from the afterlife. Thus, pyramids were constructed to ensure the pharaoh's safe journey to the afterlife and to honor their divine status. Among the many pyramids that dot the Egyptian landscape, the Great Pyramid of Giza stands out. Built for the pharaoh Khufu, this pyramid is the largest of them all and is one of the seven wonders of the ancient world. A marvel of engineering and craftsmanship, it was built over a 20-year period using over 2 million blocks of limestone, each weighing an average of 2.5 tons. The precision with which this pyramid was constructed, with its sides aligning almost perfectly with the cardinal points of the compass, is a testimony to the ancient Egyptians' advanced knowledge of mathematics and astronomy. As we traverse the sands of time, we find another enigmatic monument, the Sphinx. Though not a pyramid, this colossal statue with the body of a lion and the head of a human is thought to be a guardian of the sacred Giza plateau, symbolizing the pharaoh's power and wisdom. These monumental structures continue to intrigue us, a testament to the architectural prowess of the ancient Egyptians. Their legacy, carved in stone, is a timeless reminder of a civilization that once walked the earth, their echoes still reverberating through the corridors of time. But what about the individuals who ruled this grand civilization? Let's delve into the New Kingdom period, a time that saw some of Egypt's most famous pharaohs come to power. This is a golden age where the pharaohs of Egypt weren't just rulers, they were gods in their own right. First up, we have Hatshepsut, one of the very few female pharaohs. She wore a false beard, a symbol of pharaonic power, and led her kingdom into a period of peace and prosperity. Her reign is marked by ambitious building projects and successful trade expeditions, expanding Egypt's wealth and influence. Next, we find ourselves in the reign of Akhenaten, often considered one of history's first monotheists. He shook the very foundations of Egyptian society by replacing the pantheon of traditional gods with a single deity, the sun disk Aten. This religious revolution, however, didn't sit well with everyone, and after his death, his reforms were quickly discarded. Then we have the young king Tutankhamun, whose reign is overshadowed by the mystery of his death. He ascended the throne at just 9 years old, and his rule was relatively short and uneventful. But the discovery of his nearly intact tomb in the early 20th century has made him one of the most famous pharaohs of all. Finally, let's talk about Ramses II, often regarded as Egypt's greatest, most celebrated, and most powerful pharaoh. His reign saw an unprecedented number of monuments built, wars won, and an unusually long life, ruling for an impressive 66 years. His military victories and building exploits have earned him a place in history as a great warrior and builder. These pharaohs, each unique, played a vital role in shaping the course of Egyptian history. Their legacies continue to echo through the ages, reminding us of a civilization that once stood as a beacon of human achievement. The New Kingdom was a period of unprecedented power and prosperity, and these rulers were at the helm, guiding Egypt to its zenith. These pharaohs, each unique, played a vital role in shaping the course of Egyptian history. How did this magnificent civilization meet its downfall? As we journey through the annals of history, we find that the decline of ancient Egypt was not an overnight occurrence. It was a slow, gradual process, precipitated by a multitude of factors. One significant factor was the invasions by foreign powers. First came the Persians, under the rule of Cambyses II, in the 6th century BCE. The Persians, with their overwhelming military might, subjugated the Egyptians, marking the end of the 26th dynasty and the start of a period of foreign rule. The Persian rule was marked by a series of revolts and a decline in Egypt's economic and political power. Following the Persians, the Greeks made their mark on Egyptian history. The conquest by Alexander the Great in the 4th century BCE was a pivotal moment. Alexander was declared pharaoh, and after his untimely death, his general Ptolemy took control, marking the beginning of the Ptolemaic dynasty. The last pharaoh of the Ptolemaic dynasty, and indeed of all Egypt, was the legendary Cleopatra VII. A woman of immense charm and intelligence, Cleopatra tried to restore Egypt's former glory. She formed alliances with Rome's most influential leaders, Julius Caesar and later Mark Antony, in an effort to secure her throne and maintain Egypt's independence. However, her plans unraveled with the suicide of Mark Antony and her own death in 30 BCE. With Cleopatra's death, Egypt fell under the control of Rome. This marked the end of the Ptolemaic dynasty and the end of Egypt as an independent entity. Under Roman rule, Egypt was reduced to a province, its wealth exploited, its culture gradually subsumed. Despite its fall, the legacy of ancient Egypt was far from forgotten. The echoes of its grandeur reverberate through time, reminding us of a civilization that once stood as one of the greatest on Earth. The stories of its pharaohs, its monumental architecture, and its profound impact on human history continue to captivate our imagination, reminding us that though empires may rise and fall, their legacies endure. So, what has become of Egypt in the modern era? After the fall of the Roman Empire, Egypt found itself under the influence of several foreign powers. Arab Muslims, drawn by the allure of this ancient land, swept across its borders in the 7th century. Their arrival marked a significant cultural shift, introducing a new religion, language, and social structure that would forever change the Egyptian landscape. Following the Arab conquest, the Ottoman Empire extended its dominion over Egypt in the 16th century, only to be supplanted by the French and later the British in the 19th century. Egypt became a pawn on the chessboard of colonial powers, its wealth and strategic location making it a desirable outpost. But the Egyptian spirit was not to be quelled. In the heart of Cairo, in the year 1952, a revolution was brewing. A group of military officers, led by Gamal Abdel Nasser, overthrew King Farouk in a coup that would forever alter Egypt's trajectory. The monarchy was abolished, and the Republic of Egypt was born. This marked the beginning of a period of rapid modernization and reform as the country sought to regain control of its destiny. Today, Egypt grapples with a host of contemporary issues, from political unrest to economic challenges, yet it remains a key player in the Arab world, its influence felt across the Middle East and North Africa. Its cities buzz with life, a blend of ancient traditions and modern aspirations. Egypt's journey has been one of resilience and transformation. From the mighty pharaohs of the Old Kingdom to the bustling streets of modern Cairo, it has weathered the storms of history and emerged with its identity intact. It's a testament to the enduring spirit of its people, who have navigated the currents of change while holding fast to their rich heritage. From its ancient past to its vibrant present, Egypt continues to write its unique story.